We ended up having a three-way battle with Leclerc and Verstappen for victory, and the entire epic 21 laps of racing came down to the last one lap. It's round 5 of this Allo Mobile GP Championship Season 4. Here we are in Imola for the Motor Valley Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. After the disaster race in Bahrain last round, we are in 6th place in the driver's standings. After the race, we had a meeting with Piastri. We have to work together as a team to be the Constructors' Champions since we are down in 4th place in the standings. A good result here will be hugely crucial for both standings. As we already made it in Q3, we are setting decent lap times today. We set purple in the first sector. Our first lap time was good enough for P3 at the moment. Here we go for the last lap of qualifying. We need to push harder. The gap to the previous pole sitter Verstappen is 0.6 seconds. We're absolutely pushing here, touching the edge of the sausage curves. Can we take pole position? We've never been on pole this season. Which will be faster, me or Verstappen? Can we take pole? Let's look at the results. Oh, it's Verstappen! By just a tenth of a second. We will start from second, and Leclerc will start from third. And now let's head towards the grid then for the epic 22 laps of racing for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Here we are on the grid, and maybe some of you have noticed, but Hamilton and Russell were out in the early stage of qualifying. Hamilton will start from P15 and Russell from P17. From our POV, we will start from the front row for the first time this season. Can we make use of it? Let's see what we can do.
Getting out of turn 1 in one piece is crucial. Stay focused.
A bit slow reaction from Verstappen is making a great launch, and so is Norris, but he somehow backs off, and so has Charles Leclerc. We're in second as we go into turn 1. We're having 3 wide behind us. Piastri on the inside, Leclerc on the middle, and Stroll on the outside, but Leclerc gets by. He maintains 3rd place. Stroll went deep into the corner. He is tumbling down the order. Piastri is up to 4th. Then comes the Alpine of Jack Doohan, and Lewis Hamilton, who started from P15, is already up to P6? What a miracle start from the Englishman. What did he do? Let's look at the minimap. As you can see, he made an absolutely perfect launch off the grid, and he slipped through the slow down cars, and he was already up to P6 when he reached turn 2. Brilliant drive from the 7-time world champion. From our point of view, we tried to get alongside Verstappen, but our straight line speed is making it difficult. Verstappen seems to be having much better speed than us, but let's try to stay close to him and wait for the chance to come. It looks like the pace of the leading 3 cars is rapid. Oscar can't follow us. There's already a decent gap between him and Leclerc. My teammate is isolating the pack, which is great from my POV, but from the team's view, we want him to finish as high as possible considering the constructor standings. Both McLaren cars are at risk of losing position because Leclerc is making a much better exit out of the final corner. I had a massive understeer on the exit, and Leclerc is gaining on us. We have to cover the inside. Leclerc is coming up from the outside, but he suddenly backs out. I don't know, did he make contact? The AI sometimes releases the throttle at a weird time. Leclerc is now more than 2 seconds behind us. Whatever the cause, it's good for us because we now have a little breathing spot behind. But we can't rest yet because the pace Verstappen has today is massive. I have to push every corner to follow him. And I mean it took 3 laps to get in his DRS. We were out of 1 second range for a few laps, but we will finally have DRS on the main straight. Can we make a pass? We made a decent exit out of the final corner this time, but just look at the timing table. My rear wing flap is widely open, but we are literally not gaining even a bit. Not only we can overtake Verstappen, we couldn't even gain on Verstappen by using DRS. This is already sensing me that it's gonna be tough to overtake the Red Bull. because every single time I catch up to him on the corner exit, we are struggling with the lack of straight line speed. As we are again on the same lap, we will have DRS on the main straight. I'm in a bit of snap of oversteer at the second last corner, but we're still close enough to challenge a move into turn 1. Here we go, running down the main straight. I'm also using ERS in the high as well. But even with both ERS and DRS, we're not gaining enough on Verstappen. We are still too far behind to make a move.
We might not make it to the end of this.
Verstappen's too fast on straight.
Keep doing the pressure, you're doing great.
Here we are on the next lap. We are closer than ever to Verstappen as we approach the final corner. This time I will use ERS in overtake mode. Will this be the moment? Here we go, running down the home straight. DRS wide open. We are gaining and gaining. But I already ran out of ERS. I ran out way earlier than the breaking point. But we are closer than ever before. Through the terminal chicane, I'm moving left to right to make a pass. But it's hard to keep up with him without ERS. But can we make a move into the Villeneuve chicane? Oh, we nearly ran into the back of Verstappen. We're switching lines into Tosa. Verstappen stays ahead for the moment, but he went wide. He went wide on the exit. And we're going wheel to wheel. We got ahead. We slipped through the inside and finally up into the lead of the Grand Prix. Let's go!
Great job.
However, since we used all of the ERS, we couldn't use it to pull away from Verstappen. He's now in our 1 second range, which means he will have DRS on the main straight. But I've charged enough battery to use it in high to defend. Can we keep this lead as we come back to the home straight? Verstappen is gaining. He's coming up to make an overtake, and Leclerc is closing in as well. We're moving to the inside to defend. Verstappen is having the outside line and went across to the outside to make a fake defense. And I moved to the inside again a little grayer move from me, but we managed to stay ahead. We have to risk everything, even risking a penalty to defend this position. The lack of straight line speed is forcing us to do a dirty play to stay ahead. But actually, this is personal. If you remember what Verstappen has done to me in Japan, which was my home race, I've never forgiven what he did to us. If you want to know what happened, check out the description. But we're very aggressive on defense. Verstappen is moving left and right to make a move, but I'm closing the inside into every single corner. But because I'm holding up Verstappen, Leclerc has caught up to us. The champions of seasons 0, 1, 2, and 3 are right behind us. They will probably be a huge competitor this season as well. Since we're aiming for champion in this season 4, we cannot lose this fight. It's going to be tough to defend against these two champions as we exit the chicane. They are still close behind us. They will have DRS on the main straight again. But Verstappen has run into my back. I got rear-ended by my rival. As we come around the final corner, they are very close. I'm using ERS in high mode, but Verstappen is gaining. I'm closing the inside. Verstappen is coming up from the outside. We're going wheel to wheel, but Verstappen backed off before the breaking point. And through goes Charles Leclerc. You can hear the cheers of the Tifosi. Leclerc is up to second place. Verstappen was completely alongside me, but he backs out. The AI again braked in a weird time. I wish this glitch or a feature, I don't know, but I hope this will be fixed soon. It's literally disturbing the great wheel to wheel battles. If you agree with my opinion, or if you're having the same problem, please let me know in the comments below. Back to racing, Leclerc is right behind us. He is pushing us through corners, and surprisingly, Leclerc is looking to the inside into the chicane. He's already coming alongside me, so I couldn't move across him. He's making a late braking to the inside. I tried to hang around, but he made a brilliant braking. He gets ahead. Charles Leclerc is now up into the lead of the race. We can hear the roar of the Tifosi, and Verstappen is coming up as well. That was so close, but we managed to stay ahead. Can we retake the lead? We will have DRS, and I'm using ERS in overtake mode. Here we go, running down the main straight. We are gaining and gaining, but it's not enough. It wasn't enough to make a move. This is a power of Ferrari. We can see why they are the 4 consecutive Constructors champions. They are showing a brilliant performance in front of their adoring fans. But on the next lap, we gained massively as we approached the Villeneuve chicane. I tried to go around outside, but I had a flashback of what happened in the Japanese Grand Prix, so I backed off. And I think it was a good decision because the AI, again, didn't leave me in the room on the outside. Leclerc stayed ahead, but let's keep giving him pressure. However, at the end of the same lap, the driver right behind us, Max Verstappen, has pitted. He decided to pit earlier than us and change the tires. We have to box at the end of this lap to cover his undercut, so this in-lap will be crucial.
Verstappen is in the pit.
I'm losing grip.
Copy that. Push his lap as much as I can.
However, I caught up to Leclerc again as we go into the Villeneuve chicane. This time, I tried to make a switchback, but we banged wheels on the exit, and we were nearly forced wide onto the grass. Leclerc put his elbow out and defended that position again. I'm managing to stay in his 1 second gap, but I have to use ERS to keep up with him. Leclerc is having a mega pace on that old soft compound tire. As we come around the final corner, we will box this lap to cover off Verstappen, but Leclerc is staying out. He's going even longer on that soft tire, but we didn't have any other choice. We will box this lap and change the softs. And looks like it will be another double stack for McLaren. Piastri is in the pit as well. Okay, I guess that was a good pit stop. But the question is, where is Max Verstappen? We've lost a bit of time on the in-lap. Can we stay ahead? As we approach a pit exit, Verstappen is still not in sight. Here we go, exiting the pit lane. Here comes Verstappen running down the straight. We've lost a bit of time, but still, we comfortably stayed ahead of the Red Bull. We rejoined in P2. The gap to Leclerc is 22 seconds. Considering the pit lane loss of this track, we want to reduce the gap to at least 19 seconds to get ahead when he pitted. Leclerc is in the pit. The gap to him was still 22.5 when he pitted. Can we at least get close to him when he rejoined? Here comes Leclerc, and he is far ahead. The gap to Leclerc has increased compared to before we pitted, but that was the only option we could take at that point. If we hadn't pitted, Verstappen might have made an undercut on us by using fresh tires and clean air, so nothing we can do about it. But let's keep pushing. The car feels much better with this tire. We have 8 laps to gain the gap to Leclerc, but don't forget he's on the soft as well. Can we catch up to him and retake that lead? And as I said, the total race pace has entered another level. Leclerc is much faster on that fresh softs. He changed tires to softs from softs. That is, not allowed for players, so it's probably a glitch too. Let's hope that the developer will fix this soon. But for now, we have to stay focused to keep up with the Ferrari. He is super fast. But until lap 16, we managed to stay in his 1 second gap, slightly, but only 0.06 of a second. But this is crucial. We need DRS to help follow Leclerc. Because as you can see, even though I'm using ERS, I'm not gaining on Leclerc. Of course, he is probably using ERS as well, but since he is having a huge advantage on straights, we need every bit of help we can get. Leclerc is fast.
We see you, mate, but you're doing a great job.
I'm running low on ERS. I can't use it like forever.
Just keep saying DRS. We will have a chance. Let's be patient.
Like my engineer said, let's keep pushing, because literally that's the only thing we can do for now. I'm doing my best and I'm feeling comfortable, but that gap always decreases in corners and increases in the straights. But at the end of lap 17, we are closer than ever to Leclerc. We will have DRS, and I served plenty of energy in sector 2. This will be the moment. Here we are back on the home straight. ERS overtake mode. DRS wide open. We are gaining. However, I almost ran out of ERS. This is not enough, but we're still gaining in the slipstream. I'm looking to the inside, making a lead, breaking into the chicane. We got ahead, but Charles Leclerc made a brilliant switchback. He stayed ahead. What a move from Charles Leclerc. I was a bit far back, but I sent it down to the inside, and I did run wide just a bit, but I managed to stay on track. I thought I made the move stick, but Leclerc made a brilliant switcheroo in the middle of the tight chicane, and with the help of a bit of ERS, he stayed ahead. Damn, if only we just had more ERS, then the scenario might have been different. But that was an outstanding battle between us. We are running out of laps. We are in a bad spiral. We need the ERS to make a pass, but I had to use it to keep up with him. I don't have enough room to recharge the battery, but this time I've been charging it for the entire lap, and we are almost hitting the back of Leclerc. This might be the last opportunity. I have nearly 50% of ERS. Will this be enough? Tifosi is going wild, cheering for the Ferrari driver who is leading the race. But I will have DRS again on the main straight. Who will come out of Tombrello first? Can Leclerc defend the lead and bring back his Ferrari on top in the team's home soil? Or can KM spoil the party and retake the lead? We are about to find out as we come back to the home straight. We're gaining on Leclerc. He is showing a defense and going from the outside. We're going wheel to wheel into the Tombrello. But Leclerc gave us a squeeze to the outside and I had to dip the tire into the grass. He gave me no room on the outside. Leclerc put his elbow out and stayed ahead. But I'm not done yet. I switched the inside trying to make a dive on, but it was just not enough. Leclerc maintains the lead. We only have one more lap remaining. Is it possible to get ahead of him? Here is a replay. We were gaining on Leclerc. He closes the inside, so I switched to the outside. We were going wheel to wheel, but he gave us a squeeze, and I had to drop my right side tire onto the grass. I nearly ran wide into the gravel, but I think that was hard racing. Great battle between me and Leclerc. But this is not good. I used all of my ERS. I don't have enough energy to use it in the final lap. But I have to try again. As we exit the chicane, we will again have DRS on the main straight for the last time of this race. Can we make a move this time? The problem is that I don't have enough ERS. As we come back on the home straight, all the 21 laps will come down to this final one lap, 4.9 kilometers around the track, and we are gaining and gaining, but this is not enough. We are still too far behind to make a lunge. But we got close to him again as we exit the Tombrello chicane. We're nose to tail as we go into Villeneuve chicane. Oh, and whoa, we make contact. Absolutely nothing between the two of us. Leclerc leads into Tosa, but he gets wide. We're going side by side from the inside, just like when we overtook Verstappen. But I couldn't get ahead of Leclerc because I didn't have ERS to deploy. Leclerc moved across us to defend the inside, but we are still right on his gearbox as we approach Aqua Minerale, and Leclerc indeed! We back wheels on the exit, but we got ahead of Leclerc! We both nearly lost the car. He's still close behind. I'm closing the inside into Variante Alta. Leclerc is coming up from the outside. We're going wheel to wheel and my wheel stepped out on the entry. We got on the curve and Leclerc gets back ahead. I lost traction. Now Verstappen is coming from the back. I don't have ERS to defend. Verstappen is coming up. We're going wheel to wheel into the final corner, but we're having an inside line. We stayed ahead of the Red Bull. As we come around the final corner, it's Charles Leclerc. He has done it. He wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. We were so close, but the lack of ERS and the straightness speed was lethal. We came back in second place.
P2 mate, P2. We were so close, but that was a good drive.
Thanks guys. I don't know what to say. Come on guys, let's keep pushing. We can be stronger than this.
That was one of the most epic final lap duel I've ever had. We did our best and we were so close to Leclerc in the end, but we just didn't have enough energy to overtake. Leclerc won in front of the adoring Tifosi. He brought his Ferrari on top. We finished second and Verstappen finished third. Hamilton, who had a spectacular start, just missed out on the podium. He came fourth, followed by Oscar, Doohan and Stroll. Hodger came 8th, Lawson in 9th, and Russell managed to return to the points. Leclerc extends his lead in the standings. Verstappen splits the Ferrari. He is up to second. We got ahead of Russell. We are now in P4, 31 points behind the leader. We got up to second place in the team standings, but the gap to Ferrari is up to 52 points. Ferrari is dominating the field, but I know we can overturn it. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. And be sure to subscribe so you won't miss the next round of the season. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye. My throat. It really hurts now.